Everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to chat about Snapchat. Now, I was just doing a live and I lost my camera and I've had to delete it. So the internet was not playing nice. Let's hope that we can make it all the way through with this one. If you have any comments throughout, please feel free to pop them in and I can answer as we go. There's sometimes a bit of a delay, so I may not see it straight away, but I will get to it. So lots of people have been interested in hearing about Snapchat. It's something that is very popular amongst our children, and we need to get an idea of what they're using it for, what's in it, how they use it, what the dangers are, and how we can keep them safer while they are using it. So I'll start from the beginning. What is Snapchat? So Snapchat is an app where the user can create an account and they can share images, videos, and live messages. It's all very much in the moment. They can, in fact, share pictures that are on their camera roll, but that generally is not what it's used for. They like to take a snap, as it's called, which is like a post, as they're doing something. And these snaps appear for 24 hours and then they disappear. The children find that very exciting, that they've only got 24 hours to have their snaps up and available for viewing by their friends. And they also really love the filters that are available within Snapchat. You might have seen them doing bunny ears and all sorts of things before they send their snap. So also to add to that, snaps can be shared privately with one other person, or they can be shared with a group, so a group of people that they are friends with. So let's talk about who should be using Snapchat. Well, in Australia, the Apple App Store says that the child should be 12 and up. The Google Play Store says that the child should be a teen. Interestingly, overseas states that they must be 13 and up. And if you have a look at commonsensemedia.org, you'll see that they've rated it to be suitable for children who are 16 and up. So it is of some concern, and the reason why is because it has a lot of features included in it, and kids don't often understand the full extent of those features, and it can put them at risk and in danger. And I definitely wouldn't recommend it for any child under 13. They need to have some good decision-making skills about them to be able to use an app like this. So as I said, there are lots of features that are included within Snapchat. And once your child has a Snapchat account, they have access to all of these features. You are unable to turn any one of them on and off. So just remember, once they have that account, they have access to every single feature in there. Something else I'd like to mention at this point is I did say that snaps only appear for 24 hours, or rather they disappear after 24 hours. But screenshots can be made of these snaps, or a copy can be made via a third-party app. Then it can be saved and it can be shared. It can be reshared on Snapchat. It could be shared on another social media platform. So definitely important to have the conversation with your child that what is uploaded online stays online. There is always a risk that someone will take a copy of what they have put up or the snap that they have made. So let's talk about snap streaks. Now, snap streaks are awarded when there is continuous snapping going on between two people, and that's been going on consistently over 2 days. And so that means that they and another friend have been sending snaps to each other consistently over the 2 days, and they are awarded with what is called a snap streak. And that then means they get a little emoji next to their name. It's a little flame, and it has a number next to it. And the number represents the number of days that this streak has been going on for. So children get very hooked on wanting to get the emoji. So they want to be awarded a streak. and B, then they just want to keep it going. Okay, so they're always going to want to be in that app and making sure that they are keeping the streak going. And there is also a danger here. Some children are so focused on continuing that streak and having it go for a number of days that they will actually share their Snapchat account password with a friend so that they too can help them keep that streak going if for some reason they don't have access to their account whilst they're at home. Perhaps the internet is turned off at a certain point. So Snap Streaks really reel the children in. It keeps them within the Snapchat app, which is exactly what Snapchat want them to do. So that's something to watch out for. The next feature I want to tell you about is Snapchat Stories. So this is where they can upload a series of their snaps for that day, and snaps will play in the story in the order that they were taken. And like a snap, the story will last for 24 hours. One of the dangers with these stories is that children can actually submit them to what is called Our Story. And this is where Snapchat, they view them and they select a number of stories to share publicly. So where your child may have initially shared a story that was only with their friends, if they submit it to Our Story, it can be made public, and that can be dangerous. Next is Snap Maps. It's very difficult continuing to say Snap. So we're going to talk about Snap Maps now. So basically, users can submit their snaps to the Snap Map. And in this Snap Map, they can see all sorts of things. So they might see special events that are taking place, sporting events, they might see news. And this is all over the world when they just pop into that Maps feature. And friends can also share their location with one another. And at this point, you'll see why it's so important that children are only friends with people that they know. Because if they accept friend requests from people that they don't know and they have their map location turned on, then that unknown person to them is able to locate them. They know where they are. So you can turn maps off completely, or alternatively, you can pop it into ghost mode so that your child's location is not visible, but they can still see their friend's location. Okay. I want to talk about Discover now. When you go into the Snapchat app, you have a choice to go into Discover. And Discover is content from all sorts of places. So some news sources, celebrities, there might be entertainment outlets. And Snapchat users can actually subscribe to some of these places, some of these sources, so that they can see their content regularly. Some of these sources are legitimate companies. Others are just promotional. They just want to promote goods and services. And then there are some sources that are, let's just say, a little more out there, perhaps not content that you'd like your child to be watching. Important to note is that if your child's Snapchat account has been made correctly, they've used their correct date of birth whilst creating their account, then they're not going to see promotions for things like alcohol, and they won't be able to see adult content either. Okay, so that won't come up in their Discover feed. But there have been a lot of stories lately, parents just going into Discover in their child's Snapchat account and seeing scantily clad women and all that sort of thing, things that they don't want their child to see. So Discover is a little bit of a concern. You might have heard of Snap Code. So you might have even seen them around the place, like on websites or on posters and stuff. So Snapchat users can scan these Snap codes within the app from places like websites and posters and even friends' devices. So it can be a quick way to link to that website. They might be able to view exclusive content or unlock filters and lenses and add new friends. So any Snapchat user can create their own Snap code that they can share. So if I created my own snap code and I was walking down the street and I ran into a friend of mine and I said, hey, let's connect on Snapchat, all that my friend would have to do is go into Snapchat and scan my snap code and we would instantly be friends. It's that easy. There are a lot of other features. I'm not going to cover all of them today. There are just too many. They are the main ones. We've got other things like cameos, face lenses and world lenses, geo filters, snap cache, memories. There's a snap store. There's Shazam within there. You might have heard of that before. Lots and lots of other features in there. But what I'd like to talk about now are the privacy settings that are within Snapchat. So if your child has an account, you can go in and go through this with them. To access them, you go into the Snapchat account and on the profile there is a little gear wheel. So you just tap on that and that will open up settings. If you scroll down, you'll then see a set of like a section, and it all starts with like who can. And this is the section that you need to go through and make your selection. So there are things like who can contact me, send notifications, who can view my story, who can see my location, very important, who can use my cameo selfie, and who can see me in quick ad, okay? So that's the section you need to go to. Again, you go into the Snapchat app, you click on the gear wheel to open up the settings and scroll down to the who can section to make those choices. Snapchat parental controls. There are none. Unfortunately, there are no parental controls within the Snapchat app. What you can do, if you don't want your child to use Snapchat, you can block it using another parental control. You might want to stop your children from being able to download apps, or they might need to come to you for a password before they can download it, so that you can just put off them creating their own account without your knowledge. So the last thing I want to cover with you are some things that you can do as the parent to help keep your child safer on Snapchat. It's not really safe, let's face it, but if your child has an account, there are some things that you can do. First of all, is make sure that you understand the features in Snapchat, like anything. Before you go handing it over to your child, you need to understand its capability first. If you need to download it and use it to get the hang of it, then by all means do that. In fact, I highly encourage it. Make sure that your child meets the terms and conditions in order to create the account, so that they are over the recommended age within the App Store or the Google Play Store. That is really important. We shouldn't be making or allowing our children to make accounts if they're under that age. There are very good reasons why those age restrictions are in place. You need to talk to your child about disappearing snaps, because nothing just disappears on the internet, okay? Talk to them about how they can be saved and shared elsewhere. Go in with them and use the privacy settings that we just covered. Talk to your child about how they accept friend requests. So you might get them to bring anything to you first so that you can approve them. But what you really need to talk to them about is whether they accept a friend request from someone that they don't know in real life. Okay, if they don't know them in real life, then they should not accept that friend request, even if that person is a friend of a friend, because that could be anyone. Okay, and this is how online predators and online groomers get access to our children, because the child sees their name attached to another child that they know and they think, well, that person must be okay, and they accept friend requests, and at some point contact is made and the grooming starts. So it's important to have that conversation. Next tip, turn off location, or at least put it into ghost mode. Okay, and I love this one because kids love to do it. Ask your child to teach you how to use the app. So they've got an account. You can say, oh, can you show me how to use that? And what that does is it just creates conversation about the app itself and some of the dangers. And you might say, oh, what would you do if, this happened? Or what would you do if a person you didn't know requested to be your friend? You can start all of that conversation rolling. So thank you very much for joining me today. I know that was a lot of information to take in, but you can watch and re-watch this video as many times as you like. Over the next few days, I will arrange for most of this information to be uploaded onto the website. So it's a fact sheet and you'll be able to download that and keep. If you have any questions, I'm going to stick around for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you can just type them in and I can help you out with the answers. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.